at school, I succumbed to peer pressure because I was not altogether unique. I was not altogether myself. I was always a follower. But there was a dream that was born. And there are some of you who are sitting with tremendous dreams. There are some of you who are sitting with powerful dreams. But because you are not all together, your self-esteem, you don't appreciate yourself. There are things that you don't like about yourself. You think somebody else is better than you. And this was me. But there was a dream that was born. And that dream was born. And somebody once said that there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And eventually, what I would do, I was brought up by my grandmother. My mother was always up in the kitchen, sebalungene asebenza. I'm not unique, and some of us come from those environments. But I want you to understand that even though you come from that environment does not define you. Okay? That you can rise above the occasion is just a temporary measure to say, I'm going somewhere.
There's nothing that's going on outside that will be greater than the sacrifice. There's nothing. Be okay with struggling to get to a certain point. And be okay to say, I'm not going out with friends because I'm sacrificing this time for the small business that I'm trying to create, for my studies, to learn, to research, to get mentorship. Be okay with the struggle. Don't just want to escalate your life in 5 seconds. Where now, from matric, you want to be in this big house. You want to be married to so-and-so. You want to, just because your neighbor is doing 1, 2, 3. It's okay to work and start from scratch. It's okay.
We look at social media and we think it's true. Then people are living a lie and we desire to be what they are. And we think we would do anything to become. Not understanding that whatever they are portraying, there's that meme, Ye Apula, that is showing in the mirror. And the back part is written. And you just see the forepart and you're like, I want that. And you say, I would do anything. And yet it's a lie. So there is a truth that needs to come up in the conversations that we have about simple things like the implications of the sexual decisions that you make on a daily basis and the impact that they have even on your psychological health. Because if kuguthi wena as a girl, for instance, uhlala ukuthi umuhle and every day you are sleeping with a different boy, trust me, at some point it takes its mental toll on you.
Many men are pedophiles. And when you call a pedophile a blesser, you are hiding pedophilia.
That deserves a round of applause for sure.
Why are we calling them blessers when they are pedophiles? They are pedophiles. When ukhalela ingane, you are a pedophile. There's no blessing around it. And blessee victimizes the girl. Blessee victimizes the girl because all of us, even when we were being mic'd here, there, we were busy on Insta. We were all selfie. And all of these things are fueled by big money. Social media is not a charity organization. There's a lot of people that want you and I to take pictures of ourselves, to share, because they fuel capitalism.
You want to go to that whole quickly fame thing. It's not going to work for you. Social media is not there for you to look for things you should not look for. You know when something is wrong when it comes to you. You know when the man comes and says something, it is wrong. But because when you refuse, you are stubborn, you go for those things. But we cannot always be blaming people for things. We need to take responsibility. We need to be responsible. The career you want, work hard for it, guys. Go through the right. Associate yourself with greatness all the time because you are great. You are destined for greatness, whether you know it, you like it or not. You are destined. And don't care cooking right now. God has an even bigger plan, a much bigger plan for you. Before He formed you, He knew you.
In her other life, she's also a preacher, by the way.
He formed you, He knew you. And, before anything happens in your life, Don't kill your career.
Ibambe, Judith.
Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. Allow yourself to be great. You only have this many years to live.
But just be grateful for little things in your life. Be grateful that you are here. I mean, you being here is a miracle on its own. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it light. Somebody is drunk as a skunk right now, and you are here consuming knowledge that is going to make you a better person. Be grateful for that. Every morning, be grateful that you are alive. You could have been a cockroach, and you are you. Just waking up and experiencing the beauty of life, the fact that we're able to see each other right now. The reason as abantu, as human beings, especially Africans, we say sawubona, is because we acknowledge the fact that I am because you are. Our greeting says ngiyakubona. Somebody came and said to us we shouldn't keep eyeballs because that's a sign of disrespect. Tina sithi ngiyakubona. And if my eyes are not open, I won't be able to see you. And wherever you are, whatever you do, exercise faith. Because faith does give you hope on things you don't see. There is a power that's way higher than you. When things happen to you, oftentimes it's not to you, it's for you.
And for me, success is not about the cars, the houses, those are things. Those are things that can be taken away from you anytime. That's not my success. My success is having risen above what was my circumstances. My success is that. My success is redefining the perception I had of myself. Yeah? If you sit there and you think, oh, you'll amount to nothing, oh, things will never work out fine for you, oh, this, oh, that, that will be your reality. I redefined who I was. I rebuilt the foundation with the bricks that I wanted. And I was like, that's it. I'm done being held captive by my past, my circumstances, my environment. I was like, I'm just going to have to push on with this thing. So please dream big. Please dream. Even if, Betty, you are ambitious, it's fine. Ambition is a good thing. Do not go around shrinking yourself and shrinking your ambition because you don't want to be seen as though uzenza ngcono. It's your ambition. It's your dreams.
We make failure an enemy. Something that we cannot, that I can tell you right now today. Please take this. Do not fear failure. Failure is your friend. Because when you fail, you can learn something new. And when you learn something new, you grow and you become better. And next time, you are able to deal with your situations better than before. Anybody in life who's never failed at anything has never tried anything. You remember when you were young, you tried to walk. How many times did you fall? And did that kid or you as a child, did they ever stop trying to walk? Imagine if that kid stopped trying. Because in their minds, if I try to walk again, I'm going to fall. Where will that kid be today?
We also need to just remove the stigma of being masculine, toxic masculinity, as they call it. It's too cliched. The only time being a man or being masculine becomes toxic is when you start seeking approval. That's why today we have men who can't walk tall. They believe you before you can even say anything. That's toxic. A man, you don't need approval. You don't need anyone. One, Amachita, it's said that even our culture demands us to prove. Umfana, I want to prove at 13.
Ha uhluleka ukuvula imayonnaise kanjani ngathi izodliwa uyi-1. Gents, you must stop seeking approval. You must seek one thing, self-improvement than society approval. Moyi out uqala uvuke ekseni ugijime ucontrol i-appetite number 1. Akwazi ukuba out udle ngathi into oyiphilelayo. A man controls his appetite 1. That's when we shape character. Uzovakasha kanjani uyintwana engakwazi ukucontrol appetite yakhe. 2, you control your temper. Akwazi ukuba umfana odwa namantombazane. Yes, amantombazane ayadelela. Ngayifunda leyo nto mina kaDomdom. Intombazane yadla isikhaftini sami. Ngambuza ukuthi manje ithink Islam lidliwe ubani? Wathi tiki bars off, commander full stop. Stop seeking approval. Uyosebenza kanzima for ukujola nentombazana as if leyo nto izongena kwi-CV yakho. Ayikho ku-CV yakho ukuthi uzojola noThoko. No, you can't.
I'm saying that this society is unfair in how it raises the boy child. And unless we become cognizant, unless we wake up and say, we will not stop violence, Bafwetu. We will not stop GBV, femicide, misogyny, all of these terms, we will not stop it until we are deliberate, until we are conscious about how do we raise the boy child at the center. One day, Simpie must come back and say, we must create a movement, boys movement, go orange farm. A movement about Majita Fela, go orange farm. It doesn't matter whether what matters is the quality of the relationship. The point I'm making, as I conclude, the last point I want to make is that Dadema Caesar must be encouraged to have a platform. Empowerment. Then this Chabele founder Lema Caesar. One thing that it does is, how do we center the young man? How do we center the boy child? Boys are neglected. It's unfair. Then we stand to blame them when we grow up without fathers. But where should these boys learn from? Where do you learn from? How Tsiburna, what is to be a good man? And then they say you must be a giver. They say you must provide. Or provide that wrong when you yourself were never provided for, all out.
I think we're having a lot of entanglement, especially in our community as black people. We are entangled to toxic friends. Even when you are doing something wrong and their mother says this is wrong, even when it's nonsense. We are entangled in these relationships with people who are making us do wrong things and we don't see that these things are wrong. Number 2, on entanglement, we're entangled on this thing of having multiple sex partners. As if the more ujola nabantu abaningi uba ngcono ekujoleni. I'm sure labo sisi abakhulume before mina earlier bashilo ukuthi ukujola nabantu abaningi akusho ukuthi effective ekujoleni. So we are entangled in that area. Number 3 on entanglement is toxicity towards this thing of having a street boy. Each time a person is your junior. Let's say when you're from a rich family, your friend is from a poor family. Sekumele manje mistreat that person. Or unimpahla more than your friend, so I'm mistreated. We've seen this thing amongst guys. Lokuthi abo ice boy baya mistreatwa amadoda engazuthi they are more wealthy.
In this life, whatever you have to think about is just to make sure that you don't disappoint yourself. That's all it is. It is not about your mother. It is not about your father. It is not about your uncle. It is the goals that you set for yourself, and then you decide, for yay, this is what I want, and this is what I am going to get. Nobody sets the heights for you. You are the one who sets them for yourself.
Uske wajola le motho o sinang because o tla o fa mojolo o sinang. Uske wa kopa advice mo motho o sinang because o tla o ga advice e sinang. Uske wa tsamaya le motho o sinang because o tla o tsamaisa tseleng e sinang. jola le motho o nang leng because o tla o fa mojolo o nang leng sunana le motho o nang leng o tla o fa mosuno o nang leng kopa advice mo motho o nang leng because o tla o fa advice e nang leng ngondo